So clearly, it's been so long that I don't even remember exactly how to use OBS. So OBS I thought was broken, but OBS was working just fine, and the rest of the world was broken. So it seems like everything's working. So I'm gonna go ahead and record the stream and see how this goes. Uh, Hi, I'm Rodney Littles. It's been a while. I won't tell you where I've been, but I've been out living life, doing the things. And one of the things that I've been dealing with recently is um, a lot of developers that I respect that I like when I came into Xamarin as a developer, like people that I looked up to. Um, it was kind of like a big, I don't know, what's it about like the transition to Maui. So um, I've a lot of the developers that I know and respected from the Xamarin community have started to look at other technologies. So I've heard a lot of good things about this technology called Flutter. There's a app that I was building in Xamarin that I decided to try and implement in Flutter to give myself the experience of doing so, play with it, and exercise my feelings in the framework, and really just give myself the opportunity to, I don't know, play and see what the hype is about. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a skeptic about a lot of things. I'm not a big fan of JavaScript, so Flutter's already got a bad thing going for it. Dart, the language that Flutter is based on, is a JavaScript ish or not libraries. Apologies. It's a JavaScript ish language. Probably resembles more like TypeScript than it does JavaScript, but um, but it does do declarative UI, which is something that I was doing in Xamarin and C Sharp. I was using a lot of the C Sharp extensions and a lot of my own uh, private apps that I was playing with for myself and building for myself. I'm just kind of excited to see what it can do. It uses the Skia rendering system under the hood. I played with Skia in C Sharp. It's pretty interesting things you can do with Skia. So the fact that this will convert a lot of things for you out of the box and make it Skia ready is a very interesting thing for me. So the long and the short of it is I've got this app that I started building for my puppy when he was a puppy, and everything was going great. Everything was working good. I had to take some time away from it, and in that time, Xamarin started. Xamarin is going away and is now gone, and Maui is now the thing. So while I was playing with it, I was like, you know what? Let me give instead of trying to finish this off in Xamarin, because this is an application that I don't really care about. It's probably something my wife and I will just use to manage the dog. And if I have friends that want to use it, maybe I'll publish it out to the App Store once they see it. But the long and the short of it is that it's just something that's going to help me manage the life cycle of having a puppy, which is in all honesty very similar to probably having a at this point, looking at it, hindsight 60/40, um, it's probably very similar to having children or taking care of an elderly person, right? So like the same principles will probably apply across this from this app to a different app, but I've just specifically decided to build it for the puppy. My mother-in-law is about to get is trying to get a new puppy sometime soon, so I'm going to use this as a trial run to build the app and kind of go from there. So I'll tell you now, I am not a Flutter expert. I have taken a online tutorial course to give me the rundown of the widgets and the things. I've watched some YouTube videos, and when we get to the points uh, those pieces, I will bring those in, and I'll share those links out. But I watched some videos around test-driven development and some other things. So really, what this is an opportunity for me is to evaluate how well I can use Flutter using the patterns and practices that I've accumulated over a lot of years of writing C sharp code, and see if I can find ways in Flutter to keep my code clean, keep my code tested, and organize it in a way that makes sense to me. So I know that there's going to be a lot of square peg C sharp developer round hole Flutter moments where my C sharp brain is just going to say, yeah, no, 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 do it this way. And Flutter's just going to be like, nope, can't do it that way. Like I've actually already experienced one. I found out like right before this, I tried something and it didn't work. And I laughed really, really, really hard. So I'm kind of gonna just jump in and start like organizing the stuffs. I've built part of this app, and I've run through some code generation tools, and that's what actually the last thing I'm going to talk about. Like I know there's a lot of Figma to C sharp, or I'm sorry, Figma to Flutter code generation tools. I've played with a couple, but I've got to evaluate what it would be like to do it without any of those tools. Because one, I'm very big on like when the technology fails and you have to just kind of do it the hard way or do it manually. It's better to know how to do that at that point than be learning how to do it at that point. So while I probably will use a lot of code generation tools in the future, I'm not going to do it for this app. So I'll just go ahead and show you guys real quickly the Figma or some of the Figma design that we're going to be looking at today. I probably won't even get like all the way into the Figma of because of the fact that yeah, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of scaffolding. This is legitimately file new. This is just a main Dart with all the stuffs. And there's some things that I'm going to want to do up front. Just and some things that I've learned through playing around with Flutter and Googling and watching some YouTube videos about how things are done and looking at, how projects are structured. So I've chosen a specific way to structure my project. I don't know if it's the best way, so let's kind of just jump in. So let me show you the Figma design that we're going to be looking at. All right, so that's just a quick look at some of the Figma screens, right? I probably won't implement all of them because I don't know if I'm actually going to need registration right away. So I'm going to just try and focus on the things that it takes to get me up and going. And I guess we'll kind of talk about how this app came about as we get started. So, pardon me, I got over a respiratory infection a couple weeks ago. Um, some of how this came about was, I read books for some reason, and I was reading a book on the new age way of taking care of dogs and responsibly raising dogs. Uh, you know, to try and break away from what my previous concept of life was, um, and I realized that I should probably just put my dog on a schedule, especially the puppy early for his development. The fact that I'm fortunate enough to work from home makes it a little bit easier for me to do certain things, but that the fact that if you don't work from home, having a schedule is probably even more important to make sure that you give that time that the time to that dog when that dog is young, because the dog, like again, like children, dogs have a certain time frame where they learn certain things and they learn certain lessons better, and those time frames are really short and really early. So having a plan when you get a puppy is probably just as important as having a plan when you have kids. I wouldn't know, but what it comes down to is I just figured that this would be something that I could do. And then as life went on, we found out that the dog is allergic to some things, so now it makes it even easier, right? Like we got to give him medication, so okay, we got to track medication, track who's fed the dog, who gave the dog medication on what day, And I was like, well, we live in the age of automation, so I was like, oh, okay, well, I can send notifications back and forth between me and anybody else who's registered to the animals, so that they know, everybody in the household will know when the dog's been fed, when the dogs had their pills, and to make life a little bit easier. So this is really just a quality of life app, and I'm sure there's something out there that already does this. I'm sure I can go to the app store and find 15 other apps that do this, but you know, part of it is just playing around and seeing what I can make happen. So I'm gonna jump back into the sauce and get started on setting this thing up. I'm going to start by dumping file directories. So I know I'm a very big fan of feature folders. So I'm gonna do the feature folder thing, and I'm going to dump a home in there. And what else do I need at this point? I guess home is all I'm really gonna need at the moment, because I think that's the only screen that we're actually gonna start with. I do want to. I know. I said that there are certain things that like don't matter, but you're gonna see me put something in early that I think I want to put in early in every one of my apps and make it a first class citizen from here on out, so that it's easier later, which is localization. Um, I've come to the realization that if I don't make localization a first class citizen, it is a pain to go back and retrofit an app. Um, I got a lot of friends in a lot of different places that speak different languages. So at this point, like I said, I give it to my friends. I give it to my friends, so let them play with it. So if we can localize it for their locale, then even better. Um, yeah, I'm gonna put the theme folder in there because that matters. So again, I told you, like, this is the C sharp brain doing the C sharp brain things. Every single time I start a brand new application, this is kind of the rundown of what I go through. Um, Setting up all of the jazz to make it so that I can just go in and do what I want pretty easily. And then I think, am I gonna do it that way? No, I'm not gonna do it that way. I'm going to cheat and do it the way I want to do it. Yep, that's exactly how we're gonna do it. Okay. Anyway, so and then because I've learned a thing or three, let's get rid of this. Let's add a Dart file, and let's name that home. The other thing that I'm realizing is that not being able to use dots in file names actually bothers me, but whatever. Let's call this home screen. All right. And one of the things that I have realized already about how Dart lays things out and how I want to do things. Oh, I didn't follow my folder structure. Oh no, it's the end of the world as we know it. So let me dump all the folder structure stuff in now, because I'm gonna be a stickler about it, to see how difficult it is to be a stickler about things. Because part of this is like the evaluation for. Did I not? I didn't get dependencies. Okay. Like I said, this is a brand new. I just got dependencies. Did it break? It says that it's completed successfully. So what am I missing? Yeah. Like I said, this is a brand new. Oops, I got rid of too much, obviously. Oh, no, it's fine. This is a brand new Dart, Flutter project. So, okay, yeah, that's why it's yelling, because we need to give it an initial route. And that's going to be home screen. All right, let me do this. Let me go back to... the routers. I know I'm like all over the place right now. I got stuff broken, so we'll just set this to / for now, so we can get rid of some red squigglies, because red squigglies are the worst. Like, why is this telling me? Oh, no, that doesn't seem right. Oh, wait a minute. Home screen extends stateless widget. Let's get rid of everything. Let's now import material. How bad am I at this game? I guess I'm pretty bad at this game. Oh, wait, no. It has everything it should have. Oh, man. Upgrade dependencies. Get dependencies. I have dependencies. So this should be... oh, okay. It's just yelling. It hasn't actually picked itself up yet, maybe. Pub spec has been edited. Let's actually just build and see what happens, because, that's always part of the fun. Oh, no. The arm won't stay where I want it to. All right, what are you saying to me? A class declaration must have a body. Did I get rid of... It's got an override. Okay, so I know it needs this override, so let's get rid of that real quick. And the home... I'm smarter than a fifth grader. That's what that is. One of these things is not like the other. Extend... An S. Alright. What? Now, okay, it's still telling me to get dependencies. Is it not like... Okay, how about this? We're just going to ignore that for now. Before I go crazy. Alright, so now we are there. I want to add a static widget builder. We're going to take in a build context with a context. And we are going to fat arrow return home screen. Oh, wait. Fat arrow, no return. Yeah, so that gets me my builder for my page. So now I can go back to this wonderful place and add a Dart file called routes. Oh. I think that's going to conflict with the... Okay, let's call this... Yeah, let's call the routes and see what happens. I don't care. Alright, so let's give it a class definition of power routes. And then we're going to do a static const string initial route is going to equal / jazz. And then we're going to provide a static map. So map is actually a very interesting concept. It's basically a dictionary, but like it's weird. No, widget builder. There we go. We're good at this. Typing is our thing. And it's just been pretty interesting, like learning how. Like I know JavaScript has it, so like I know you're gonna tell me, oh, JavaScript has it. Yeah, I know. I told you at the beginning of this, JavaScript is not my favorite. But builder, there we go. All right, let's just do that, and that should work. Okay. All right, so now we've got our initial route, so we can go back over to our main.dart. We can set our initial route to routes. Oh, I'm smart. SMRT. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the... There we go. I got to get the actual name because I didn't just call it routes. I wanted to be special and give it the application name. So that's what I get for being special. And then I'm going to provide the routes, and I'm going to provide the routes. So that way I don't have a big list of routes all in my Jazz. So I'll say this. One of the things that is attractive to me about Dart is when I was playing with Xamarin towards the end of Xamarin's life, I was playing with Fabulous, which is F sharp, which F sharp is an amazing language. I still don't understand it as well as I should because I don't play with it enough. But the reason why I was playing with it was to learn it because there was a particular thing Fabulous did kind of very similar to Flutter and with that immutable UI. And the reason why I like am attracted to that concept is because you have more of a composition based model than an inheritance model. So in OO, I see inheritance overused all the time. Like we don't use composition enough to solve problems, in my opinion. And when I talk about inheritance and composition, I'm talking about a is a relationship versus has a relationship. Like Rodney is a child of Rodney, my father, but Rodney has a leg, right? Rodney not is not a leg. I have a leg because I am a human, because I inherit from human, right? Like that's kind of how that works. So building UI elements is, instead of an inheritance based approach, is more of a compositional based approach, which I really liked about the way Fabulous was using it. So I'm hoping that I find a love for that here in Flutter. So I'm gonna add one more thing. I told you I was gonna do the supported locales. So I'm gonna add some. There we go. And I'm gonna add a locale, and I'm gonna call it English, and I'm gonna give it that for now. We'll worry about the rest of that later. Ooh. Yeah, it's gonna yell at me and tell me add const modifier. All right, so we'll get back to this localization. It's in my face, so I want to get her done. So at this point, I've got my home screen with a placeholder. I've got my builder, so I should be able to run my app. So we'll give this thing a go, and we'll bring the simulator up. Sorry, the simulator's on the other screen, so I'm looking over here to try and make sure that it's running. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's connecting. So now I need to change to show you the. Oh, wait, it's building. It's building. What just happened? There we go. It's building. Running Xcode. This takes way longer while I'm on stream. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. It takes like 2 seconds while you aren't watching. Okay. So let me change the simulator. So you see the simulator here. We've got a nice blank placeholder. So now we can dig in and just start trying to build out what the Figma looks like. And I'm going to bring that over to the other screen too. And I'm going to bring up the thing. So I probably won't get much past the original card. But we'll go ahead and give that a shot. And then we're going to put it on the home screen because it's on the home screen. And I think the way I'm going to work is I'm going to build the thing. Let me make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to build the thing here, and then I'm going to abstract the widget out when I get it to the point that it's working. Because I find myself, when I'm dealing with declarative UI like this, I get caught up trying to make the widget first, and then I don't put enough of the stuff in there, and then when I go to change another widget, I end up having to do more stuff. So I think I'm gonna just put it here and pull it out, and I think that's the easiest way. That's the same way I did it when I was using Xamarin in declarative UI, because it just made it easier for me. So let's jump in and start looking at the designate, and we'll go ahead and I guess we'll start with making this a column. We'll give it some children, and like I said, I've learned enough Flutter to be dangerous. So feel free to bear with me, yell at me, tell me, hey Rodney, that sucks. Your Flutter's horrible. I won't be mad. I'll just learn from it as best I can. So yeah, you're gonna see me looking over here because I'm looking at the Figma design, trying to figure out okay, how big is the thing? How far across are the bits? So that's like an 8 pixel margin. All right, so let's set the Oh, column doesn't have a margin. I'm smart. Children, let's do that, and there we go. I have to constructor isn't what? I've had this happen before. It's because I didn't import the right package. Let's figure that part out. Or maybe it's just I need to stop running. Nope. Okay, so we'll just do a flexible widget and give it a child of, oh, what are we gonna have? We're gonna have another column. I'm not actually gonna do this and put a column within a column, like first thing I do. We'll put some text on, and no, I guess we would need a row first. Children of the is gonna be the row, and in the row, we're gonna put a text box. We're going to put some text, and we're just gonna say my puppy. All right, let's see how that goes from here. We'll spin the IDE bits back up. Oop, I'm breaking stuff. There we go. All the things. Okay, so now I've at least know where I am. This should likely be in a, let's do wrap widget with a scaffold. I think the scaffold is what gives me the safe, no. It didn't fix it. Scaffold just doesn't have a child. Scaffold has a body. Alright, that makes sense. We'll give this a const so it stops giving us yellow squigglies. Alright, and off into figuring out we should be able to save this. I think we might need to restart the app. Oop, it's still broken. Oh, because I'm smart. And I put an extra. Oh, okay, it's like reloading. Oh, did we lose everything? Let's make the, do I have to do it? Let's do this. Does this have a color? No, let's see. Flexible widget. We probably want to take this away. Let's take this away. This is the other thing I like about declarative is I can just start removing stuff. And then I can restart the state and verify. Okay, so that's still broken. That's still broken, so maybe we pull this. We pull the row. Let's remove this widget. No, wrong widget. Right. I'm gonna have that hotkey by next week. Believe that. Alright, so now you get to see me fumble through. And like I said, I haven't even finished the Flutter course that I started. So it's just like I've just been trying to figure things out. this takes considerably longer to build with you watching. Okay, so then let's do is it text style? Text has text style. Okay, so text should just be there we go. Text style. We just saw it was there. Oh, it's just called style. There we go. I'm still learning how to read the things. There we go. Now I'm going to provide it text style and provide it a color of, let's explicitly, well, what is it going to be in the, what's the Figma design say? Let's go look at that. It says black. This is black. Yeah, so show me what the, okay, it's not true black. It's this. So let's call this primary text, I think is what we're going to end up calling that. So I think I can do color and paste that in. That gives me black. I hit the button, hit the other button, bring my simulator back up, still nothing. Let's do, oh, there it is. It's up in the top corner because I put it in the scaffold, and then I put it because I am brilliant. See, this is the beauty of no, yeah, and then we'll wrap that with center. We'll resave and refresh. It doesn't move the chains. Okay, so then let's remove the center. Remove the widget and let's wrap with center and see, does that change anything? Yes, okay, that changes it. Okay, so now we're at least there. So then I believe that's going to be, what is that, cross-axis alignment, because that's the row. The row is centered, so we want to do cross-axis alignment dot center and see if that works. I'm legitimately grasping at straws because I don't actually know. I just remember hearing and trying to figure out start values. Let's call it stretch. I don't actually think this is going to work because it's the row, and I think that I actually have to center the, oh wait, no, this is the cross axis, which is, so row is this way, so the cross is this way. So I want to change how it is centered so that, like, centered should have worked. Okay, well, that's fine. We are learning. So I've got a row. I need to wrap that row with a column. So this is where, like in Xamarin Forms, like I feel like I would just do a grid. But this just feels awkward. Okay. So let's just keep going. Let's see how far we get in the next 20 minutes or so before I run out of coffee. All right. Oh, we did say we were going to do something about these colors. But we'll get to that. Let's see. Centered. Oh. It helps if I pull up. There we go. Now I can see. Text. So that's the row. So I guess. Okay, how would I do this? So like now I got to draw this out in my brain. So in order to achieve that, I need 2 rows and 2 columns. Yeah, this is where like a grid just feels easier. And I know there's a grid in Flutter, but everyone has basically explained it to me as it doesn't matter. So I'm trying to act like it doesn't matter. Trying to treat it like it doesn't matter. But I don't think we're gonna get far that way, so we're gonna end up probably looking at it. Um, Figuring that out. Let me see. What are we talking about? Oh yeah. Does this actually have that on there? Sorry, I'm over here looking through my bits to try and make sure that I have my head on straight. Okay. What it looks like. All right, here we go. So we've got a row. On that row, we'll put the text. I believe we'll put like a circle avatar. Ooh, I don't have one. Oh, I should be able to get one from the internet, right? Oh, if I do like some type of image internet business. So I think there's like a Flutter SVG. Let me go look. I'm pretty sure there's like a Flutter SVG. So that's the other thing that I'm realizing, coming from a language that has like ridiculously dedicated tooling teams, is that some of the tooling just isn't the same, which is fine because there's not like a first class citizen for Dart, and I'm pretty sure if I had it in VS Code, if I was using VS Code, I might get a different experience. But I'm using IntelliJ because I'm a Rider fan. I've been using Rider for the past like 8+ years. It's fantastic. So let me go look and see. Let me go do that. There we go. So what does that tell me? This gives me the ability to let's look at that. That's what we want to look at. Okay. That is extremely difficult to understand. Holy shnikes. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do the unimaginable and format that thing. There we go. That should make it easier for me to look at. Okay, so that is using this one. Sorry, I'm looking for the plugins that yeah, so it's gonna be okay, this one. So I'm gonna go over here to my jam and paste that in. I think I need the provider. Do pubget. Exited with code 0, so now I should be able to do something along the lines of all of these assume that I got it locally. So let me see, how do I do that? So here we go to the Google box, and we're gonna go find I'm able to display images from the internet, Flutter docs. Sweet, it's built in. So let me go find. Oh wait, I don't have me. How about this? I know what I can do. I can take a picture of me, which everyone loves. Everyone loves this picture of me. It's so great. And I can put it in my, what is it? I think it's going to be, how I want to structure this. I'm looking for how I want to structure this. Yeah, okay, so just dump it outside of the lib folder and do assets. And then in my assets folder, I'm going to, let's see if this works, paste in, let's call it me. So now we got a nice pretty picture of me that we can stick everywhere. Yay. All right, so that means I should be able to just use a circle image and then just use the image path and get the circle avatar. Oh, do I have to provide an actual image provider? If I do circle avatar, image provider. No. I should be able to just, let me go look at this. Let me go look at this. We've done this. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so it is the background image, so not the child. So we're just gonna do the background image. So we just want to set that, and we want to set that to an asset image. Okay, this is starting to feel comfortable again to me. Okay, so now that I have an asset image and I have an asset, I can just provide it assets me.jpg. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, right? Okay. So we want that, and then we want text all on the same line. We go back to our debug session, refresh. Ooh, I broke it. I broke it all. Flutter's gonna tell me these are invalid constraints for your, okay, these are, yep. By the following, layout, children, helper.dart, box constraints. So what did I break? Oh, okay, it's this cross-axis alignment. There we go. Let's do that, and then let's nope, clearly I didn't fix it. Circle avatar image. Oh, I didn't set the size. What is it on circle avatar? That's the size for this thing. Come on, hover text. You can do it. No, you can't. Okay, I guess it's the radius. Yeah, the telesense bits don't come up as well either when I'm streaming, which is also fun. Let's run it. Yeah, it's gonna blow up everything. Boom. What is my simulator? Oh, it looks bad. Alright, so let's restart. We get a different experience if we restart? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, okay. Well, yep, there we do. We do have, okay. This is weird. But we'll go with it. So let's go pin that tab. Alright, so that's my me assets. Oh, I gotta add assets to the thing. Like, what didn't you do this time? What does this button do? There we go. So we've got assets, and I think I can do it by just adding the assets / no, go away. There we go. Alright, so if I restart, data synchronization failed. Data synchronization, yeah, I'm dealing, what's the smart way to do this? Do I have to put an S? Oh, I'm smart. There we go. It's like, hey, your YAML doesn't compile, sir. Because it's already built, like it doesn't tell me the YAML doesn't compile. Okay, so there's me, there's my puppy. Yay, we are learning things in the Flutter. Eek. I'm also doing this because some of my friends that do Xamarin don't actually have time to do these evaluations, and they've been wondering themselves about Flutter, and for better or worse, they might actually listen to my opinion, which is so, I want to be able to give them, I know I can clean these things up doing other things. I've got patterns for some of this stuff that I'm going to adhere to, because I don't like having strings all over the place. But I also don't like constant files, so I have ways of doing jazz. I don't want to waste the time now doing the jazz. I want to see how far I can get actually learning how to put the thing together. Okay, so do I just wrap this in center as well? Because that would be weird. So I guess that would be there we go. That means that this would be like the main axis alignment, and we want to do main axis alignment center. Click save, restart. Okay. Now there's something in my brain about that I learned about how to get the safe space in the scaffold. So let me do that, and I think I can just wrap this in another widget called safe area. Let's try safe. Oh. All right, so that makes it easier. All right, so now we're in the safe area, so we can see me, we can see my puppy. I want to bring the text alignment up. Come on, get out of my way. So we're gonna try this. So we're gonna do text baseline, I think is what it is. I don't know what type that is. That is a type of text. Baseline ideographic. I have a feeling we're going to break something, but let's give it a go. I don't see any change. Let's do alphabetic. I don't see any change. Okay, so I don't think that that's what we actually want. So let's go look at the text style bit. Okay, so we have font weight, letter spacing, word spacing, leading district locale. Yep, that's great. So we can get that built in. Early decorator, label, font, family, package, overflow. No, it's got to be on this. It's got to be on the text style. Or is it on the row? Is it on the row? That's the fun question. Let's go look at row. Text baseline. We don't know what the text baseline should be. There's no default. Okay, so then maybe my text baseline should go on the row. Does that feel more like I still don't feel like either one of these actually mean what I think they mean. The horizontal line used to align the ideographic characters. Okay, maybe that is it, but I wouldn't. Oh. Let's go read what alphabetic. Come on, you can do it. No, they both have the same. Open in documentation tool window. I don't know if I want to do that. Jump to source. I don't think that's going to help either. Okay, so then what are the other text direction? What is text direction dot? Oh, that's pretty slick. So you can just move where the text is on the. That's even though you put the children out of order. That's actually pretty slick. That's not what we want though. I thought I remember doing this. I guess I don't, because I know what I want to do is I want to put another text line, but I don't want to wrap this in a column just to get it done. But for now, because I don't have a better option, we're going to do that. We're going to do text my puppy, and this is going to be some more text. And what does the design say the thing is supposed to say? It's gonna give the title of what we're doing or who the person is. So okay, we're gonna change this up a little bit. There we go. So this is gonna say person name, and we're gonna call this an honorific. I think that's the right name for it. Text in text, what are you yelling about? You're saying too many positional arguments, expected one but found two. Ooh, you wanna know why? Because I am smart. That's that text style, but then we need another one there, and then we can put this here, and now we're good. Haha. That's why code formatting is so important. You can easily spot things when things like that's a thing that I do like. I don't like the way it styles it, but the fact that it puts everything on its own line is right up my alley because I am very big on that. Okay, we're not going to get too much further down the road without changing this up. And I think this is what, a 12-point font. What's the font size? It's gonna be like I think that's a 22-point font. Uh-oh. Where'd we go? Oh, there we go. So, I mean, it may not be exactly what we want, but it worked. Column, cross-axis alignment, cross-axis alignment. I messed this up earlier, but we're gonna try it again. Ha! All right, there we go. So that looks better. There's my person. I probably need to bring my person's face size down some. So I'll bring this down to, let's call it like 35. Ooh. Did it? Oh, because it's, no. I took that thing out. Okay, we'll do font size. Let's put this at 22. And we'll make this font size, I don't know, 18? Let's see how that looks when we do it. That's a little big, so let's move this down to 18 and move this down to 14 and see how that looks. Okay, that looks like what I want it to look like. All right, so now I need a background on this column. Can I just put let's go look at what column has. Text direction, vertical direction, children. So I can't give a column a color. I don't want to give can we, this gets, oh no, that's fine. We should be able to wrap this in something that gives us the ability, not a size box. I guess we can just wrap it in a container and give the container a color. What are you yelling about? Oh. Color. We're gonna, oh, it's got this fancy stuff on it, but we're just gonna use the primary color for now, which is gonna be this jazz. So you're yelling at me because paste the thing. You're yelling at me, telling me that you are still not pulling the correct children. Can I not have a container? Pubs. What is my problem? I just want the thing to, the constructor being called isn't a const constructor. That's the problem. So we take const off and we're good? Question mark? We'll see. Now I got this yellow squiggly underneath all my stuff. Oh, womp, womp, womp. Okay, we're gonna copy this color out because we're gonna need that in a second. We're gonna undo all that jazz. Yep. Because it's this entire column. It's this entire column that needs a container with a group color of color, and then we can do this, remove that scaffolding, save the thing. Ooh. There's supposed to be like tools for this that I'm supposed to be able to like look at stuff and inspect things, but I'm sure the tooling is likely going to be difficult to deal with given the fact that, okay, here we go. Here's the Flutter widgets bits that I think I'm looking for. So there's the column, right? So, we want just the row. Okay, I'm still not good at this. So let's remove the swap with parent. That's something new. Children. There we go. Let's click save. Let's rerun this. Okay, that gives me the entirety of the column. So now if I set a margin on the row, can I do like, is it padding? Let's go look at what a row takes. It takes none of those things. So I'd have to add the padding to this container. I think the container's definitely got some level of, okay, it's got a margin. I don't think it has padding, but the margin should be fine. So if I come here and put a margin of edge insets dot, I just want the left and right, only symmetric. Here we go. So we want horizontal to be, let's call it 12 pixels. Save that, refresh. Okay. So now what am I doing? I don't like how I have all of this squiggly bits because yep, added everywhere in the file. Boom. Yay, we're happy. All because I used, there's got to be something wonky about that. I'm gonna write that down to Google that. Why in the heck? Container non-const. Yes, I'm writing it down on a piece of paper. I think it's got to be like a namespace import issue, but I'm not quite sure, so I'll figure that out. All right, so now we see the we probably want to put a size box between our avatar and the column. So let's put a size box, which I think I want to have a width of, call it 4 pixels. Okay, that's how I can avoid that. I can do that, and then it sizes, bam. Oh, that is actually pretty slick that I can do that. Then I restart the thing. Let's make it 8 pixels because I like space. Yeah, that seems good. All right, and then if there's a way for me to, how do I round the edges of a row? Let's go look on the Google box and find that out. Create a rounded text field. Nope, that's not what I want. Give containers rounded borders. That seems about right. Answer. If you have a simple rounded corner implementation, like use clip rectangle and clip oval. Oh, this is what I was looking for, the box decorator. So then we put the container, we give it a decoration, we give it a box decoration. And what does it say? The box decoration needs to have a border radius of Yeah, so I like when I tell you I know just enough to be dangerous, like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just clicking buttons and trying things because I told my friends I would. Oh yeah, I broke it. What did I do? I think I've seen this before. I have to put the color on the, can't provide both a color to both declaration. Yep, okay. So that's got to be, all right. Yeah, I get it. Go back. Haha. Something I've seen before. I think I got to put the color here. Oop. Now if I hit save and just run that through, yeah, it gives me the nice pretty error. Boom. The circle avatar still needs a padding. Can we put padding around it? Size box. I'll worry about that in a minute. I think for now it's fine. So that's kind of the beginning of that. And then this, let me actually Get status. We're inside the thing, so clear. We will do a get init dash b main. Haha. Ooh. Ooh, I need like git ignore files and stuff. I'll worry about that later. I'm actually not going to commit this to Git right now. I'm just going to power through it and suffer without having version control to save me from myself. So this could get dangerous. So the next thing I want to add. Oh, is that a, oh, okay, it's a 2 parts. Okay, so it is a row inside a container, inside a column. So the first row is going to be that. So where are the children of the corn, children of the column? So the children has a container, the container. Oh, okay. Border radius. There's got to be a way if I look at the box declaration. So I only want to get part of the box. I don't want to get the whole box radius. So how do I... let me go back to the Google and see. Yeah, here we go. Border in a particular corner. Border radius only. Haha, there we go. So instead of circular, there's going to be only. And then we're going to do... wrong button. Top left is going to be... I don't know what that was. I think it was 12. And then top right is going to be 12. Oh, I gotta do it. Oh, okay. Oops. Okay, so it wants something different. I think it wants a radius. So radius dot circle. Then we give it my double. Yeah. So then I should be able to just copy pasta that from here to here, and then I should be able to click save, click the button, and do it like this way. So this is where, like, I'll say that this is actually very interesting. Like the declarative UI is making what I'm trying to do here very, very simple in a lot of ways. So I'm very, very appreciative of that fact, because like just being able to change just a portion of the border radius, oh, it's phenomenal. Not having to worry about changing the whole thing and what that looks like. All right, so I think at this point I've got the container. This container is what is the top portion. Top so far. So I've got the top portion of the card figured out. I've got, so now I'm gonna put another container because I don't really know another way to do this. I'm actually gonna copy this pasta here. This whole box decoration. I'll put box decoration here. I think this one I'm actually gonna have to put some form of border color on so that you can see it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a border around the whole thing, huh? Okay. Okay, so border. What does border want? Border wants to draw above background color gradient image, follow shape, use border. Border dot all with a color. I think that's okay. Here we go. This is gonna be the separator border color. Oh no, don't do that. Click those buttons better than that. Color. So I have been taught in the school of like get things working and then make them pretty. So I'm gonna get this stuff working, and then I'm gonna figure out how to make the solution less ugly later and make the code more enjoyable, and then I'll figure it out from there. Border dot all blah 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 blah. Where are we? What are we doing? Oh, I think we want to put this same border on this container, right? So I think that's what we were doing. We're gonna go to the debug window. We're gonna refresh, and we're gonna look at. Ooh, what? Okay, so what? Border all? Okay, maybe the border all isn't the right thing to do. Let's go look at border. What are the options? There's one with border, top, right, left, bottom. Okay, let's do that. Symmetric. I thought all would be the width should be 1. Solid stroke align inside. But it looks like it. Do I have to this is gonna get weird. Like, okay, so solid would be the thing, right? But that's just okay. So I would expect it to have the same width as the thing, but it doesn't seem like it does. All right, let's go back. Border radius, yeah, we'll worry about that in a second. So border all, border dot, and that's the color. Oh, but this is the bottom. So if I take that one off and I apply that to the, oh wait, yeah, top portion of the card only, and I restart, that's why, because I don't have, here's my margin. I'm gonna take this margin and move it up to the column. The column doesn't have a margin. Isn't defined. Well, that's good, right? Center doesn't have a margin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of this and we're gonna wrap this nice, amazing center widget in a container so we can provide the container a margin. Ugh. So at a certain point, I'm gonna realize that I don't need container to do everything, and on that day, everything's gonna be way better. But until that day, I'm gonna be using containers specifically for their margins because I'm that good. Okay, so then if I put border, hey, back up. If I put border color, back on there, and I refresh. Okay, so now it has it in the right way. So I'll go back to my Figma design, and I need to put, I think the child of this can just be a single row. Oh, that's the box decoration. We'll do that on the container. Child can be a row with children, and my children in my row are going to be an image icon. Oh, I got to go back. Yeah, see, this is where it's like, okay, do I remember how to do the things that I thought I know I thought I knew how to do? Probably not. All right, so there's that. Okay, yeah, okay, there's icons. So I should be able to just do like an icon. All right, so let's do icon data. Let's call it icons dot. I'll probably swap these out for like font awesome icons later, but for now, calendar. Yeah, we'll do month outlined. I think the color on that. Oh, does it take a? Oop, there we go. I'm being bad. Color is going to be the same color as the main color. Yep. Let me give you the main color. Save. Refresh. What are we looking like? Okay. Yep. I guess that's a thing. So then I'll also put a text box that has some text that says, what else is this thing supposed to have? It's supposed to have the date. Okay, we'll put it in the format that they want it in. But what's today's date? Today is June 2nd. So we're going to do 02 June 2024. And we're going to give you, I'm pretty sure there's another way to do this, but I'm just going to do it the way I have it at the moment. And do some research later on how to not suck at this. Let's just call it and we'll figure out how to do time conversion because that's probably a thing that I care about. So we saved stuff, we refreshed, and why is that's the icon, so okay, so what am I missing? Oh, no, that's the child of the is a row. The row has children. This is the top portion of the container. So let's go and just collapse this container for a second. So that container is there. So we've got the same box decoration. We should probably only do the bottom. Now that we're looking at this, we don't want the we shouldn't have done that. We should take that out. That's gonna be, there we go. Now it looks somewhat ish normal. But I'm pretty sure there's a specific white for that background. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna look at that and we're gonna go grab that. Okay, so that's just true white. So we will set the background color to colors dot white. All right, we'll refresh the thing. We'll look at it, and we are close. So we've just got to make it look like those two things are touching, and then we got to set this is going to be the bottom left and the bottom right. So now that'll change it so that it looks a little bit more cohesive. Okay, that's cool. So now do I want to wrap the this whole child? I think I just want to make this, I don't want to make it a flex box. Flexible, right? So what does flexible do? If I do that and I restart that, ooh, yep, broke. Oh, it's not even gonna compile because I put the margin up there. Oh, where else can I put it? All right, let's just wrap this container in a flexible widget. Let's see what happens. It's not horrible. So now if I take this container, and I'm sure that there are designers that will like look at it and tell me it's a pixel off because it looks somewhat of a pixel off right now, but I want the so now I see what's going on. The top container is like 35 pixels because of the picture, which means this needs to be 35 pixels, which means the container height needs to match, right? So if I do that, nope, let's try 55 because that was the other thought of the picture. Okay, that's better, and I'll make it more correct later. This row has an icon, but we should have the row should have a margin. The fact that the row doesn't have a margin, does it have padding? I don't think the row has padding either. But if I set a margin on this icon, right, if the icon has a margin, which I don't think it does, right, the icon doesn't have a margin. Nope, icon has no margin. So how do we have to do that at the container? Ugh, again with the container. All right, Alright, so we'll put a margin on the container and we'll put edge insets to, let's do it symmetric, horizontal, and we want it to be, it looks like around 8 pixels. So let's call it 12 because clearly I have a trouble eyeballing pixels like I just got done telling you. Nope, that ain't gonna work. How? Okay, let me, easiest way. Easiest. I could always probably just use a size box, but that also feels like cheating. Yeah, I get what margin and padding are. I don't want you to tell me what they are. How do I add margin to my widgets? Yeah, that's Flutter generally talking padding around a widget rather than a margin. Okay, so my C# brain square peg round hole. I can literally just put padding inside my widget. So I can just okay. I see how this concept works now. So I just add. Oh, if I had read, it's right there. It's right there. Padding insets, edge insets only, symmetric, and we'll make this horizontal of 8. We'll save. We will go look at our simulator again. There we go. We remove that. We click save. Now it looks closer to what we expect. I think I still expect the first column bits up. I'm sorry, this first row to probably not to be centered. Actually, I think I actually want this at the start. Then I'll wrap that row in padding as well. So like this is where declarative UI gets somewhat like I don't know, weird, because you end up repeating a lot of stuff in paddings and margins. Like there's ways around that, just like there are in things like XAML. Yeah, okay, so now those things are the same. So now I'm going to look at this from the perspective of like what similar bits of code do I have? Let me pull this up with the Figma design. I'm looking at it. So now it looks close enough to what I think it's supposed to look like. I probably still need to put some padding around. And padding is also, this is actually probably still also not the right way to do this. Like I'm sure there are people that be like, oh, you shouldn't do it that way. Yeah, you're probably right. Come teach me a better way to do it. Radius min, radius max, radius child, background, foreground. None of that is what I want. What I want is, okay, so I just want a padding around it. So I'll put a padding around the circle avatar. And just like with C#, right, I'll probably look at this Flutter code in like 10 years after I've been doing Flutter forever and start asking like, why did I ever do it that way? You know, because there we go. That looks not as bad. So I put padding around that. I still have the size box in the middle to give me the space there. But now my jazz isn't lined up because I have an extra 8. Okay, because I have 20 pixels. This is where it gets weird, right? So now I have padding inside padding inside padding. So I think I should take this off altogether. So I think I want to remove this widget, save it again. Nope. I want to put the padding there. And I think now I don't need the padding here? Question. I think I just did this, right? Like I'm pretty sure I just put this here. Okay, that looks right. That looks good. Okay, so now I'm at the point where I've at least got the first couple of pieces of the of this first card working. So in the inheritance model, what I think I would do is I would then like create a widget of a specific name and then extend from those widgets. But I think I just want to create a named thing at this point. And then I'm still going to come scrape through here probably after the stream and figure out how I want to represent all of these colors and bits differently to try and get some additional use out of the styling, because I have a feeling that I'm going to continue to reuse the same or similar styling throughout this application. But this gets me my first card from my Figma design. And considering I don't have any clue what I'm doing, I feel like this was relatively easy. Just knowing how to do declarative UI in C#, understanding how to build a declarative UI, I think this is actually pretty straightforward. So some things that probably are, like I said, I know I'm doing things incorrectly, but overall this feels pretty good. So I don't want the safe area, so I think I want everything from here, and I'm gonna, so this is where like the tooling is like create new scratch file from selection. I don't want to create a new scratch file. I want to create a widget from the selection. So I don't want to wrap it with a widget. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to call this, put it in features. I think I'm gonna put this in like a shared widgets folder. Widgets, and call this add Dart file. I'm gonna call this next appointment. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. Again, C# brain appointment card .dart. Don't ask again. All right. Oop. Let's. Oh, I broke something. I did something wrong. Let's go back here. Okay, so I got the flexible widget. Oh, I'm smart. That's what I am. You know what I did? I just pasted it right in instead of creating a stateless widget that has the name of next appointment card, right? Now that I have this thing called next appointment card in my build method, I can return my flexible widget. Yay! Doesn't understand Dart, so we'll give it Dart. Now we'll expand it. This, I'm gonna const all the things in the file just to get rid of all of the yucky stuff. So this is like 70 lines of code, and I have a really big feeling that I can get it down to many less lines of code if I do some more jazz and understand exactly what it is that I'm attempting to do. But overall, I feel like this has been a pretty good start. Oh, there's one last piece that I'm going to want to change in here. The icon needs a size box of width 4 pixels. There we go. Nope. I don't want that. There we go. Most of my size boxes are likely going to be defined that way. Okay, so this makes me feel good. This makes me feel good. We've gotten a fair amount of the way through. Oh, I didn't re-update on the thing because we didn't call it a new. So now we're going to call this, instead of doing all this, oh, nope, don't do that. Don't be smarter than me. If I hit Alt and I delete and I do paste and I do that, and then I import. I want to import it as a package because that makes me feel better about stuff. So now if I hit the save and I do a restart, then I get my update. Bam. So, okay. I think I feel pretty good about where I am right now. I'm going to go ahead and close out. I will get into probably next stream just the concepts of how I want to clean up some of this stuff. I want to think about it a little bit more. And again, I know that I have all hard-coded bits in here, so I know I need to figure out a way to pass in things to the next appointment card. This is where like my, again, C# brain is going to go straight into the circle hole of Flutter. I don't actually know how I want to represent these things. In the C# world, I would probably create domain objects and view models to pair with my views. So I know that the concept of Dart the concept of Flutter will just take in, primitives. I don't like primitives because I feel like primitives are not descriptive enough of the things. So I prefer fully qualified types. I'm a type head. I prefer types that define things, that give me good, warm, fuzzy feelings about how behaviors are going to be generated. So I will probably look at what that looks like here and come up with some ideas around how I want to do it. And again, it's probably wrong. It's probably completely against the way Flutter does it. That's fine. I'm exploring how I want to do Flutter, not how other people do it. Well, yeah, how other people do it to determine how I want to do it. It's probably how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and close out here. Thanks for watching if you're still watching. And we'll get to it next go round.